Well, new this morning, Jake Patterson, the 21-year-old suspect accused of killing Jayme Closs's parents and holding her hostage for 88 days. He applied for a job at a liquor store the same day that she escaped, that is. Now, the online application submitted last Thursday was passed on to police by the company after they realized who he was. And this is what he wrote about himself in the skills section. I'm an honest and hardworking guy, not much work experience, but I show up to work and I'm a quick learner. Paterson applied for an overnight job in the warehouse. Unbelievably, one of Jayme Closs's relatives also works there. You know, the criminal complaint against Jake Patterson is remarkable because of the level of detail that goes into it. Among the highlights, Paterson told police as soon as they got out of his car, quote, "I did it." He also described how he targeted Jayme and went to her house twice before actually taking her, as well as the murders of her parents and how he held Jayme captive in his home. On Crime Network host Bob Bianchi joins us now, criminal defense attorney and former prosecutor. So you see this, there's this level of detail and alleged confession. Where do you even begin to defend this guy?
Really, really hard case for the defense attorneys. There's so much premeditation, Mike, in this case. Number of times casing the location, getting masks, identifying her, changing his license plates. I mean, so that he wouldn't be identified. There's so much premeditation here. So as a defense lawyer, the only thing you can do is look at a case like this and say the guy's got to be off his rocker. He's got to be mentally insane and try to come up with some mental health defense. But, you know, Mike, as you know from covering these cases, it's very, very hard for the defense to win a defense of insanity because you'd have to prove that he didn't know or appreciate the difference between right or wrong. And when you have all of this premeditation and 80 plus 80 days of keeping her in captivity, that defense is going nowhere in front of a jury.
Yeah, go along with that, because the level of planning here and the, I mean, lack of a word, just the evil nature of it. I mean, from the type of weapon he's wiping down as much, there's no DNA to find afterward, how threatening he was to Jayme and so on and so forth. You're saying insanity plea is not going to work.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. Right to your point, Mike, exactly. I mean, he's wiping down even the ammunition. He's wearing gloves. He's got a mask. It's very purposeful. He's gone there 2 times. One time he didn't go in because there was activity inside the house and lights on. Another time, I think there was like a car in the driveway. He didn't want to go in. So it shows that he's got plenty of opportunity and that he's thinking logically, even though it's a horrendous and heinous kind of offense. As a prosecutor, did homicide work for most of my career. This is the kind of guy you wait for as a prosecutor. Kills 2 of these parents, and when you listen to the description, blows the father away the minute he goes through, as he's going through the door. Then the mother's calling 911. I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it. Hiding with the daughter in a shower with the shower curtain closed. He goes in there, tells the mother to duct tape her, and then shoots her in the head. This little girl knows her dad's dead and her mom's dead, and then he drags her out, sticks her in a trunk, and then gets her out of the vehicle 2 hours or so later in a remote area and tells her to take all her clothes off. Man, you live for this as a prosecutor.
Wow. You know, we know the details, and you just very articulately laid them out here for us. Is there any concern a defense is going to argue, well, too much of this is out there, we can't get a fair trial now?
You know, Mike, I dealt with this so much about the media, and it is true that the ethics rules tell prosecutors that you present information through public documents only. What you see happening now is that prosecutors are laying their cases out more and more, I think, more for the court of public opinion as opposed to getting an arrest warrant. So you got to be very careful as a prosecutor with this, especially when you're dealing with confessions, because it can poison the minds of the jurors, make it more difficult for the court to be able to select a jury. Personally, I think in this particular case, I get it when prosecutors do it because they want to let the public know the reasons why they're doing certain things. I don't think that that was necessary in this particular case, so I think it may have gone a little too far. But in the end, they're going to be able to select a jury in the case. But we're seeing this more and more where prosecutors are basically putting it all in their paperwork so the public knows all of the data and information. But again, Mike, last point, this is supposed to be a trial in a court of law, not in a court of public opinion.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Hey, Bob, always good seeing you. Bob Bianchi there for us. I want to let everybody know that we're going to have